Vertigo, and what every Social Security disability applicant needs to know about the listing of impairments. Unfortunately, there's no listing for vertigo, but Meniere's disease is considered to be a disturbance under listing 2.07. To meet that listing, you have to show frequent episodes of vertigo, tinnitus, a gradual ongoing loss of hearing shown by pure tone and speech audiometry, vestibular testing that shows a disturbed function of the vestibular labyrinth, and symptoms that have lasted at least 12 months. If your Meniere's disease symptoms fall under or are equal to a listing, you might be approved for benefits at step 3 of the 5-step sequential evaluation. If you have Meniere's disease and other medical problems, the Social Security Administration is required to consider the combined effects of your impairment when determining whether or not your condition equals or meets a listing. And if not, then the Social Security Administration will determine your entitlement to benefits based on the medical and vocational criteria at steps 4 and 5. I'll be frank, the listing requirements are difficult to meet, and most applicants just don't meet a listing. However, again, we're talking about steps 4 and steps 5 of the 5-step sequential evaluation. You'll have to prove at step 4 that you can't go back to the lightest job you held in the 15 years before you became disabled. And at step 5, you have to prove that there isn't any other work you can do in the mythical national economy based on your age, your education, your skills, and your residual functional capacity. The Social Security Administration, or ultimately an administrative law judge, will answer those questions by determining your residual functional capacity. The residual functional capacity is what you can do despite your issues, and the Social Security Administration is going to review your records at the initial application and request for reconsideration stage. They'll determine whether or not you can do sedentary, light, medium, and heavy work. The Social Security medical consultants will often opine that an applicant can do light or sedentary work, and that will result in a claims denial. The key is getting your physician to complete a residual functional capacity form, but your doctors don't always know about these forms, and certainly the Social Security Administration won't necessarily tell you about these forms. Now, these forms have a lot of physical questions that may not seem relevant, but they can be relevant in the totality of your medical situation. So, how far can you walk? How long can you stand and sit at one time in an 8-hour day? How much and how often do you lift, stoop, squat, bend during an 8-hour day? What are your symptoms and how do they impact your ability to function? So you may have difficulty sitting and standing because of balance issues. They'll want to know whether or not you have hearing loss or ringing in the ears, whether you have limitations on your ability to drive, whether you have sleepiness and fatigue because of your symptoms, whether you have problems concentrating, and whether you have complications from medications. You might have good days and bad days, and so the Social Security Administration wants to know about those and how many days per month you would miss from work. They may also have caused problems of a psychological nature. These symptoms can result in depression or anxiety that would interfere with your ability to work. This is not an exhaustive list of all the questions on vertigo or Meniere's residual functional capacity forms, but you can see that having an explanation of what you can do physically and cognitively and emotionally is the key to winning your case. I know that many cases are lost because the applicant didn't have a residual functional capacity form, the right residual functional capacity form, or their doctor just didn't properly complete the form. This is one of the reasons why you should consult with an experienced Social Security disability attorney like myself. Having a residual functional capacity from your physician, knowing how to present your symptoms in your medical records, and how to be able to explain to the Social Security Administration and a judge your symptoms and their impact on your functionality is the key to getting your benefits. Call me today at 727-894-3188 for a complimentary consultation.